guys, it's Ahmer here. So today I wanted to show off some pickups that I scored while I was out at one of my favorite local video game stores here in Maryland. This place is actually the reason why I fell in love with some of the older video games that I remember playing from back in the day, from when I was younger, and I just had so much fun playing these games. Of course, the very first time I walked into this place, just seeing the amount of games, how much stuff they had there, just some of those nostalgic items, just really helped me fall in love all over again. So today I'm going to take you on a little bit of a tour of this amazing flea market, this amazing video game and toy store in Maryland, and I'm going to show you some of the amazing finds that I scored. So let's go ahead and check it out. So first of all, if you guys are ever in Maryland and you would love to see just some amazing items, just so many different nostalgic items ranging from vintage video games, newer video games, vintage toys, just pretty much anything and everything, this place is actually located at this little flea market, and it has this little Amish market inside. There's so many other vendors. You might actually find some really cool items as well. And then of course you get to the very back where they have this little movie store, and they also have this video game store that's kind of merged together with vintage toys, vintage figures. They were pretty much remodeling as I went in there. They were just adding so much new inventory. Stuff is just coming and going. And I got a little special exclusive tip on their eBay store and all of the items that they have listed online. So we're actually going to save that for a future video, as they had some amazing and rare items, some sealed vintage Nintendo stuff, some stuff that I've never ever seen in person before, just so much stuff. So this trip was actually really awesome. I found so many awesome items. They just have a pretty awesome range with some more showpieces on top, which some are for sale. They're just a little bit more of the expensive items. So of course you'll see some of those exclusive Nintendo 64s, you'll see the Toys R Us variant, that gold color, complete in the box. Just some awesome, different color, fantastic Nintendo 64s. You even see some of those chainsaw controllers up there. Just so much stuff ranging from Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. You even see Sega stuff up there. Just so many cool specialty, exclusive items, different variants. Even some sealed items. You see a sealed Atari Jaguar. You even see this really awesome TurboGrafx system, even the TurboGrafx CD. Just so many sealed items, just so much cool stuff. So something that I had never seen before until I actually came into this flea market. I saw this really cool Nintendo 64 era. They have this really awesome pinball, a little electronic pinball machine. So it's really cool. It has Donkey Kong on there. It's from the Donkey Kong 64, Nintendo 64 era. That thing just screams nostalgia. That thing just has some really awesome colors and designs on there. It's actually a really cool Nintendo piece that I would love to have in my collection one day. So pretty much everywhere that you look, you see something a little bit different each time. And I just love how they also have, on the little toy and figure side, they have so many awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle items. They have really cool Pokemon items. They just had so much stuff. So that cool Pokédex from back in the day definitely brings back all of those memories of trying to catch them all and just play all of those Pokemon games, trying to collect the cards, going to Burger King and finding those amazing toys that they used to have. Those little gold-plated toys that they would have inside of the Pokeball, where you could get Mewtwo, you could find Charizard, Pikachu, just so many other classic Pokemon. I just love how they have a great mix of everything. And then of course you look up, you see tons of comics, and you even see this really cool Mario, kind of Mario Kart telephone, this vintage telephone that they have. Just really awesome stuff that they have just kind of collected all over the place. So many cool Ghostbusters items. I just love seeing those old style TV trays. I had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one back in the day, but definitely seeing that Ghostbusters is just so awesome. Just brings back so many great memories of sitting there and kind of going through and just having all of this stuff from back in the day, all of those things that are classic in your childhood. And then of course you just find these little odds and ends items that you see. So I just have been on a roll with trying to find some Power Rangers items and trying to collect some of that vintage stuff. I noticed that they have this really awesome Power Rangers little long box to collect comics in. So I thought that that was pretty awesome as well. So that definitely screams this awesome Power Rangers feel. It has those bright colors, those awesome characters on there. So just the little odds and ends that you see everywhere that you look around at this flea market. Of course, not just the quantity is there, it's also quality items. So of course, if you're on the side where they have all of those vintage figures, you'll see tons of sealed figures. You see sealed Transformers, you see vintage sealed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle items, you even see some vintage sealed Ghostbusters items, just so much stuff across all of the different toy lines. So it's really awesome to go somewhere, kind of see all of this stuff just kind of jam-packed together. And even behind the counter on the video game side, you see all of those really expensive games, just so many top tier titles that you just don't see every day. There's tons of sealed games as well, like the Atari Jaguar games. They have like a whole collection of that stuff. They have some obscure games as well, like the TurboGrafx 16. They even have Virtual Boy games. So I also noticed that some of the Virtual Boy games that they have definitely went up in price. They have some of the mid-tier games for that system as well. There's only so many that they actually have for the Virtual Boy system in general, and then of course they have a decent amount there, along with Nintendo. So you have NES, you have Super Nintendo, you even have the Sega Genesis, the Sega Master System, they have ALF. They just have so many classic titles, some of those more expensive ones as well. Just a little bit of everything has definitely went up in price. And I just love going there, seeing all of this cool vintage stuff, seeing all of this expensive stuff, kind of just all right there. Just things that you can kind of go around and see if you can make some deals and just find some really cool items. So of course, on to a couple of the items that I actually picked up from there. So one in particular I was just so excited about because as I look around, I see some really awesome cases for the original Game Boy and of course the Game Boy Color. So I saw this little soft case, little display for the original Game Boy. It was black, it had that orange color, just that vintage vibe, that vintage feel with it. And then even that hard clamshell style case that had the original Game Boy kind of imagery on there, something that I already do have in the collection. But then I noticed one for the Game Boy Color, and I noticed that this was a particular color that I thought was really awesome. Definitely will look great on display somewhere in the game room. So of course I found this right here. This is actually modeled after the Game Boy Color. This is a little carrying case that you can have for your Game Boy Color. And this thing is just so cool. I just love this color. I love how great shape this thing is in. I've seen some of these in other colors go for some crazy prices. I definitely got an amazing deal on this. Even on the back it says model GBC70 2000. So this is so cool. And then of course it says push to open here. It's a little bit difficult to open up. You actually see this little foam right here where you can go ahead and put your gaming system. You can put games in there, and it says right here, power up and get free stuff. Gift free with paid subscription. So of course we have this little Nintendo Power kind of guide in here, and then it even shows you all of this stuff to sign up for it. So just some really awesome displays listed on this little mini catalog. So this is just so awesome to see. Something really cool that I'm so glad that I scored, and I found it there. It was just kind of lying on the floor in the corner, so I'm just so thrilled about that. So this is definitely probably one of my favorite pieces that I picked up. Then of course going around and looking for some promotional items and some things like that, they have this little center area that's just filled with cartridges, filled with games, and of course I found this little guy hiding in the mix. So right here, this is a Nintendo Power pin. It says, here's your official Team Power pin. Welcome to the ranks. And it even says Team Power on there. And then of course, Nintendo Power has this really awesome little holder right here where you could just kind of pop the pin through. So this is one of those vintage finds, something really awesome, something that you just don't see every day. I just love the variety of everything that they have here. And of course, another really awesome item that I found kind of in that middle center area where they had tons of little promotional items and stuff. I saw this right here. So this is actually a pocket arcade, and this is for Bug. It even has this little KB Toy sticker on there. So this is Sega by Tiger. So this is one of those really awesome little handheld style games that they used to have, those Tiger Electronics games. This is from 1997. This game was actually on the Sega Saturn, at least the version that I have of it. It says, get ready for the adventurous antics of Bug. Help Bug rescue his fellow insects from Queen, who wants to feast on these little fellas. Your special moves include the Bug Bounce, Somersault, and the ever-popular Spit Attack. So this thing is just so cool, and these old-style blister cases, just really awesome. And these are definitely some great display pieces, and I definitely got a great deal on this as well, as I've seen some of these blister cases for these Tiger Electronic handheld systems go for so much. Then on to this item. This is something that I'm shocked that they had, because I was looking for this for a very long time. So here we also have another blister pack of this really awesome game. This is one that I have the arcade machine for, so I have Virtua Cop 2, the original arcade machine. Right here, this is Tiger Electronics, Tiger Laser Games. And this is so cool because it says Firepower. So right here it says Sega, of course you have the police up there, it says Virtua Cop. It even comes with this little laser gun right here where you just aim and fire at moving LCD targets. Compact gun shoots IR beams with real sound effects, shooting action based on the hit Sega Arcade and Sega Saturn games. So this is another Sega Saturn piece, something that I just didn't expect to find there, but once again they have so much stuff kind of jam-packed in there. So this is really cool. You see the bad guys just like the arcade. This is kind of in one of those little handheld style games. It says hit indicator will light up with each successful hit. Laser gun fires from 6 to 30 inches from the screen. And it even has this little target sticker on here as well. So this is so awesome to find it in this blister pack. Just so cool. Just so much neat stuff that they have. Then of course in their little showcase, you see these little guys, they're just sticking to the side of the showcase. Those Yo-Noid characters from all of those hit Domino's commercials that you remember back in the day. Of course they're bringing it back, so this is just so cool to see. Just everywhere that you look kind of hits you with that nostalgia. You just remember so much cool stuff from your childhood. You see right there in the middle as well, one of those Nintendo Power Gloves. Just something that every collector nowadays has. Something that is just so terrible, it's just so great. Something that I thought was pretty notable as I was walking around, because you definitely can't miss out on that. And then even over by that little Game Boy case that I originally saw, I saw that Mario figure, that little Mario doll that's just so odd looking, but it's definitely a play on the old classic Mario character, that old classic style. That one is particularly missing his hat, and I do have a much smaller version of that little doll. So I would love to find a larger version one day, but possibly with the hat, so we can stand next to his little buddy that I have. And then of course over with some of the Sega Saturn games, some of those Sega Genesis games, I actually saw this really awesome 3DO title right there next to it. This one is actually a crazy fighting game. This is Way of the Warrior. So this one was complete. It says head-to-head fighting action, huge digitized characters, 60 to 80 moves per characters, and secrets to die for. Of course it has all of this blood and everything else kind of shown on here. It says the planet's greatest warriors have been assembled in a citadel high atop the Himalayan mountains. It is here that only one challenger will survive and have his name etched with magical blood into the Book of Warriors. The tournament will bring together good, evil, mortal, and immortal. The outcome will lie in the hands of one. You find the way, noble challenger, and find the way of the warrior. So I just love collecting for some of those odd systems. Even so, this little Commodore 64 128 diskette. This is for The President is Missing. So it says winner, most innovative software, 1988. So the CES software showcase. So I thought that this was pretty cool. This one will definitely look great on display. It kind of has all of this stuff. And just some of these games and how they were back in the day. It's just crazy. Because nowadays, you would not see cigarettes advertised on a lot of these games. You don't even see them in particular movies anymore. So just a lot of things that they have changed over the years. You definitely don't get that feel from back in the day. And just seeing everything that's included in here. And kind of how this little thing opens. So this isn't your typical box. This one comes with all of this really cool stuff. It says, to the special investigator, the second phase of the president is missing, now begins. You have all of this other stuff, these notices, these prologues, just all of these handwritten little notes. Then of course you have all of these diskettes right here for the game, and then you even have this old cassette tape with this foam. So this is just so cool, definitely a classic right here, and something that I definitely needed to have in the game collection. And then going off of some of those Tiger Electronic handheld games and some of those handheld games, we actually have the shaky pinball game. This is complete in the box. This one I thought was pretty neat just because I had not seen it before, and now that I have talked about this, I keep getting a bunch of advertisements for some of those other pinball games that they had. They even had a Barbie one apparently. So this right here, it says on, off, sound, light, start, pause, and it says shaky pinball. So this is actually pretty neat. You can kind of have these little flippers right here and just play some pinball action in your hand. So definitely let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this place. Have you ever seen anything like it? Do your game stores actually look like this? Is there anything that you saw in this video that stands out to you? Definitely hits home with that nostalgia. Just let me know in the comments below. And would you love to see a little tour of some of their eBay items, some of those specialty items, some of the more high-end items that you just don't see every day? Would you love to see something like that? Because I can certainly go back there, hopefully get a little bit more footage of some other things kind of close up and right there in your face. Just let me know in the comments below, which item did you like the best? Was it some of these Tiger Electronic handheld systems? Was it some of these little Sega systems and little handheld things? Was it that awesome Game Boy Color case? Have you seen some of those Game Boy Color cases before, or only the original Game Boy case that they have? And did you like some of these cool games that I found? Just let me know in the comments below which item was your favorite and which items you really like seeing in this video. So of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.